We'll call the meeting to order for Wednesday, August 23rd, 2023, for the BZA meeting. If you please stand and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Quick explanation of the procedures. Tonight's a little odd, and we'll explain a little bit later as to why it's odd. Typically, we will have the case will be presented by staff. We'll have the public portion. The applicant will come up and give their reason why they would like for the appeal to be approved, and then we will then open to the public portion for them to be for or against the appeal. And then once that is transpired, then we will close the public portion. The board will then ask questions of anybody that spoke before the board, and then we would make a decision on the appeal. This evening, we are probably, well, we'll get to that in a moment. And we really, that's the end of it. Can we do a roll call vote, please?
Sir. Mr. Roberto.
Present.
Mr. Bartolt.
Here.
Mr. Shoup.
Present.
Shup. Sorry. Ms. Owens.
Present.
Mr. Saito.
Okay, and notice there was no one missing. We do not have anyone that's planning on speaking tonight, so there's no need to do a swearing in. And then we will move on to the next portion of the of our agenda. Before we do that, I'll read it afterwards. So we've got two cases that were scheduled to be heard this evening. Would be BZA 2023-11. It was pertaining to the property 4629 Uriana Drive, and then case BZA 2023-12, and for 6200 Colerain Avenue. We did not do we did a public notice, but we failed to give proper notice to the properties that were adjacent to the property. So as a consequence, we cannot hear either of these cases because we've not given due response as far as a notice. So as a consequence, we will then hear a special meeting on September the 6th, 2023, and I want to kind of read to that. So as far as under the Ohio's Open Meetings Act, regular meetings are held at a pre-scheduled interview, such as monthly or annual meetings. A public body must establish by rule a reasonable method that allows the public to determine the time and place of regular meetings. That's what we're having right now. So as a consequence, because we don't want to do an injustice to either one of these cases and delay it for another month, we as a board have decided that we will hold a special meeting. So with that, a special meeting is any meeting other than a regular meeting. Public body must be established by rule, a reasonable method that informs the public of the time, place, and purpose of the special meeting. In this case, the public is being notified that we're having special meetings to hear these two cases, BZA 2023-11 for 4629 Rihanna Drive, and for case BZA 2023-12, 6200 Colerain Avenue. No other meeting outside of that will be discussed at this special meeting. We must give 24 hours notice in advance of the special meeting to all outlets that are typically notified, and then we will hold the special meeting to discuss the particular issues that we've just spoke of this evening, and then once that is done, we will then make a decision on those two cases, and then it'll be good. One other thing, Open Meeting Act requires every public body to adopt rules establishing reasonable methods to notify the public of the time and place for regular scheduled meetings, hence why we are having a special meeting. And those rules must include provisions for any person upon request of payment of reasonable fees to obtain reasonable advance notification of all meeting in which any special type of business, public business, is to be discussed. The statute suggests that the provisions for advance notification may be including mailing the agenda of meetings to all subscribers or a mailing list, mailing notices in self-addressed stamped envelope provided by the person requesting the notice. This was publicized through a YouTube channel as well as Time Warner or whatever, Spectrum, whatever they're calling themselves. And so we are, giving notice. So with that, I don't think I need do I need a roll call vote for?
Do we need a motion?
we need a motion to move the meeting to the September 6th. I don't think it would hurt us to do it. So we'll do a motion in a second, and then we'll roll call vote it, just to make sure that everyone's in agreement with it. So can I have a motion to move, or have a special meeting on September the 6th?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second.
Second.
So with motion and second, any discussion? I hear none. Please give a roll call vote, and I will be last on that roll call vote.
Okay. Mr. Bartolt,
Yes.
Mr. Shup,
Yes.
Ms. Owens,
Yes.
Mr. Saito,
Yes.
and Mr. Roberto.
Yes, thank you. So we will have a special meeting on September the 6th to hear the two cases and only the two cases that is in question. And the reason this is important, if we were to make any decisions or acts outside of the public purview, it is considered in effect. When a public body takes a formal action in a meeting for which it did not probably give notice, the action is invalid. So we just want to make sure that we do everything above board and reproach on this board, at least while I'm chair. If you guys want to do it differently, I don't want to be held in any standards that aren't high. So with that, we have no unfinished business. Approval of minutes, we don't have any minutes at present. Are we going to be getting the minutes at the September 6th meeting?
Yes, I do expect those to be ready.
Thank you. And then with that, our next meeting is going to be September the 6th, 2023. That will be a special meeting. And then following the same month, September the 23rd, will be our regularly scheduled BZA meeting. And then we have no administrative matters.
That is correct. Our client, KZF and Zonco, are continuing to work on the comprehensive zoning amendment update.
Okay. And-
So we do have cases for September 23rd?
No, those are administrative matters for just giving us an update on where they are on their.
No, I'm saying the next meeting, it says regular meeting, September 23rd.
Yeah, do we have cases that are going to be for September?
You're aware of some? Okay, so
Are we?
Justin says yes.
Okay. So, and then, do you have any other questions for staff? Okay. And just want to make sure that we're clear on sunshine laws, that we don't talk about anything outside of these cases outside of the pertaining of the public view, because we want to make sure that the decisions that are made are valid decisions because of that. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion's been made. Seconded. Discussion? Before we roll call vote, I appreciate everyone that showed up tonight. I know this is extenuating circumstances, and it doesn't feel like we accomplished much, but you being here just means a lot to the township, and it's just, I appreciate everyone that is here and for the service you do. You're not being paid, essentially. I mean, you are, but you're like stipend of little. This is something you do because you guys want to do it for the township, and I appreciate that. Public, do a roll call vote, please.
Okay. Mr. Bartolt,
Yes.
Mr. Shup,
Aye.
Ms. Owens,
Yes.
Mr. Saito,
Yes.
Mr. Roberto.
Yes, meeting is adjourned.